All right, good morning, folks. Just want to do a quick mic check. Excellent. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone had an amazing weekend. If you were down in Texas, hope you were able to make one of those two meetups and had an awesome time. Good morning, Norm. Maybe Norm can tell us this morning a little bit about those meetups and how they went.
Well, we've still got one to go. We're one down, one tonight.
Oh,
I'll be
right, it's for
trading for a
tonight.
little bit, and then we're heading out to Austin. So last night was great. I think we had about 25 people. I'm sure there will be some pictures up soon. I know Andrew posted some on Twitter last night.
Excellent.
So it was fun. The winner of the challenge was there. We got to present him his award. Kind of a quick, very, very brief interview with him. So I'm going to try to mess with the audio and clean it up a little bit and post that probably tomorrow. So no, it was great. Hope you guys had a great weekend. And thanks for everybody coming out. People traveled from all over the place: L.A., Vegas, Waco, Houston.
Nice.
So yeah, it was very nice.
Good, good. Glad to hear that. Yeah, forgot it was one tonight now, or both over the weekend. All right.
Yep.
Excellent, excellent. All right, guys. We hope you had a great weekend. Let's get ready for this trading week today. We got a nice gappers list here, a lot of red on the screen so far, so we'll get into that. And then we'll also, as usual, go into our Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers. If you're joining us for the first time, if you're a new member in the community, welcome. So every morning, Monday through Friday, we do the pre-market show, Norm and I, and we'll go over this gappers list, find its level of support and resistance, then kind of fine tune the list, see what looks good for us to watch at the open, and also look at what you guys have in the chat room that you're watching that maybe we have not gone over. So let's get right into it, guys.
And one quick note, and somebody asked, does anybody know what happened just after 8 a.m.? So part of what's going on with the market right now, Neil Kashkari, what's the Minneapolis Fed president, I believe, is being interviewed or sitting on a panel or something like that. So that might cause the market to be a little wacky for the next half hour or so.
Yeah, definitely a lot of activity. And you can see right now we're almost down 1%. Probably gonna get to that in a second here. So yeah, a lot of trading activity right now. Usually not normal, but yeah, if that's happening, this is definitely causing some ruckus. All right, so yeah, also talking about the market, make sure you catch Brian's weekly recap. I believe he posted one yesterday, so make sure you check those out. He talks about swing tradings and other things on there. And I think today we're going to have also his live podcast here in the chat room as well. So I believe he's doing that this Monday. I think it's at 2 p.m. Eastern time, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll get you more information on that once I speak to him.
It is at
Yep.
2:30 usually.
2:30. Excellent. All right, guys. So let's start with the first one on here. We'll start with the only one that looks green on this list, which is QD. So QD had earnings. They are up 4.4 this morning. Some decent volume, 201,000 shares traded so far. And if we look at this daily chart here, looks okay, looks decent, looks like it kind of got choppy in this area here. This is nice here in around this range here. It got a nice little pop here. Then it kind of somewhat got choppy. They are popping up a bit today. And pre-market action does not look great though. And what we mean by it does not look great, since we have some time today, since we're not going over our top highlights from a day before, obviously because it was Sunday. Here's what a nasty daily chart looks like, right? Pre-market action, sorry. Now, as you can see here, this pre-market action is just very choppy, does not have a nice flow to it. Can this get better later on as it gets more volume? Hopefully it can. So even though it has 201,000 shares traded, which is what we look for in this list over here, that we want to look over more over anything above 100,000 shares traded can be something that can be in good shape for us to trade. Right now, only 201, which is nice, but again, gapping up 4.4, which is nice. But then this pre-market action here is not attractive at all. So that doesn't look great. Hopefully, it gets better as the day develops. Next we have here is AMD down 2.5, 689,000 shares traded. Quite a little high. It's pretty early. Higher than usual this morning. Again, AMD's been just on this. I'm gonna remove some of these levels here. It's been on this pure chop over the last couple of days on the daily. But if you look at the intraday trading, if you look at the daily activity, it's been really clean. So AMD is showing some activity. Okay, pre-market action at the moment, but it's got some really good volume. Definitely want to see what that does today. INTC we have here in our list, down 2.7, 176,000 shares traded. INTC could be a little choppy sometimes, so you got to be a little careful with it, but it is tradable. It is a tradable stock at the moment. I like that it has this nice drop here, 2.7. Do we have any earnings on INTC? No, I think just the whole market of
No,
this sector, right?
this is all the Huawei deal.
Yes, yes.
That
Yep.
suppliers to Huawei and everything else that are tanking right now. It's half the list, I think, is associated with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing now because I see all the text, not the tech sector here, kind of dumping a bit. So you can see this is what we're talking about here. Huawei deal again. Tons of rumors. This early this morning at 4:11. This has been Singa, by the way. You can catch some stuff going on there. So yeah, so this is down quite a bit, 2.7. I do like that it has this somewhat of a support here. Didn't crack this, and now we're down quite a bit. Out of these, oh, Uber's popping up. Uber down 2.2. Let's see what Uber's doing here. It's not shortable. Very choppy pre-market action right now. So I know Friday was very active as well. So we'll get back to Uber in a second. Let's see what the daily chart looks like though. So on the daily, we do have this nice little drop here. We got some moving averages coming in. We got some very clean daily levels we can find in a second on Uber. Pre-market action just not looking that great. Next we have Baba. Baba is nice again, just a little higher price, 165, 203,000 shares traded. Right now dropping, probably all the other news as well. So let's we'll get back to that one. We have INTC. Next we have Apple. Apple also down 2.6, 660,000 shares traded. Cleaner pre-market action, so Apple looks interesting. Again, a lot of this stuff is just moving with the SPY at the moment, but you can see this one looks a little interesting here. We got a very nice clean support here, Norm. It's funny, me and Norm were talking about possibly closing this gap. We got close to it. Almost, actually, probably almost did.
It
You know?
hit right at that 200 is what stopped
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So it just hit that 200, ran back down. We were talking about this on this exact morning. That was a possibility. Looked strong, and it did that, and then just bouncing back down now. So we have another level of support in this area here. We'll mark that down in a second on Apple. Next, we have Nvidia. Nvidia also on here, down 2.8, 158,000 shares traded. Again, very similar to what INTC looks like. Intel, right? It's kind of got this consolidation period here. Now we're all dropping about between 2 and 4% on some of these stocks. Not a great pre-market action just yet. Needs more volume. Let's see if we can get going in a second. We'll come back to it. MU, we have not seen MU in our gappers list in some time. Not like AMD. AMD is always on here. Definitely it's got more volume than usual, 358,000 shares. That's a lot more than what we usually see for MU at this time of the day. Pretty choppy pre-market action. But this has a nicer daily chart than AMD, right? Because it's got some flow to it. You got some indecisions happening in here. It's got a nice little drop here as well. So this is good. And then we'll go back and find some levels, see what's the next level on there. I do like, look how strong this level is in here. Whoops, that's too big. Here it is. Look how strong this support level is in here. Tested it several times in the last couple of days. We have lost that. Again, so kind of got some support here, major support here. Look at this drop and then this huge bounce back up. And again, now we're cracking that. So this becomes interesting. We're going to find some levels within this area on MU. Next, we have Tesla. Tesla, a little higher price. Tesla's been taking a huge hit the last couple of days. I mean, look at this daily. It just continues to drop. They had an incident with the accident we talked about last week. I think it was on this day here. And then just overall, just not doing too well. Even with the market bouncing several days last week, Tesla is still on the way down. So we'll get some levels. Look, we has not. This might be the 52-week low. Yeah, it might be. So
It's been a long time since it's been down there.
Yeah, so we'll go back and look at that. A little higher price. It does have a good pre-market action right now. It's got a nice little range going since this morning. Nice drop. Hasn't lost a momentum, and it's got some good volume. So we'll look at Tesla. QCOM again, guys. Very, very careful with this one. We see how choppy this could be. I think Andrew might have traded it last week a couple of times. Very difficult stock to trade. Very difficult stock to trade with the spread and everything else. It's just not clean. Right now we have a 30-cent spread, and even when the market opens, it still can be that way. So again, just careful with this one. Here it looks like we might be coming down to a major support area where we had the gap from the news of when they and Apple kind of settled the situation they had going, had this huge run up and this pop. So today we're kind of getting to that support. Actually, we might have tested it right at 77, low of the pre-market. So could be interesting. But let's see. Let's see what it does. Next we have.
If it breaks that level, that's if it breaks 76.50-ish,
Yeah, yeah.
that could be trying to close that gap.
Yeah, I do like this here. Hopefully it can give us a nice little breakdown here. That would be amazing. Pre-market right now, pretty crappy, but that's okay for QCOM. It tends to be very choppy, not much volume right now. But again, this level here, 76, 66, 50-ish, like Norm was saying, this is going to be very interesting today. So maybe even if we don't put it on our main watch list, we can watch this on the side just to see how it develops. Look out for it in our scanners. Here we have STM. So STM just right now, again, usually like the TMs and other stocks are foreign, very nasty to trade. This is a horrible pre-market action. And for those that have not seen a block trade, here's one right here. This not as big as we've seen other ones before, but this is one right here, about 85,000 shares traded. And you can see it right here in the time and sales, 85,000 shares traded right there. It's just dropped between a seller and buyer, and again, not creating any action, but that 85 is being included in this 324,000 we have up here. Again, great volume, but doesn't create a good pre-market action. Next, what do we have on here? This looked like some more might have sneaked in here. TMUS. All right, TMUS is up 4.9, 121,000 shares at the moment. Nasty daily chart. I don't like this daily chart. Seems pretty choppy just within here. Now we're gapping up a bit. Let's see if we have some news on TUMS. I'm just gonna check Benzinga here. And it looks like rumors of a merger. So not an exact merger, right? Just rumors of one. We might have going on here. So, is this happening? All right, so 8:30 expect to announce. All right, they expect to announce the deal. So there's some rumors going on that they might approve some kind of merger today. T-Mobile and Sprint. So we'll have to see. This could be, right now it looks tradable. It doesn't look like an actual buyout. And this is what happens, right? You have a rumor. Usually when it's a buyout, you get the pop and it's all flat at one price action. Here you kind of have some activity happening. So that's the difference between an actual rumor and a buyout. And this could be tradable, right? This could be tradable here. So we will come back to it. What do we have next in this list? I think that covers all. PDD, sneaking in here. PDD. Horrible. Again, has great volume, 526,000 shares traded. But look at this pre-market action over the last couple of 30 minutes. Just really choppy, really flat. Just not something that's really tradable at the moment. So if anyone sees this get better, it started good early this morning. This was a nice drop here. Then it just got really nasty in this area. All right, we have quite a bit. Let's just quickly go over our Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers. Right in here, we'll go over the top 10 on both columns. OTLK, OTLK was active last week. What did it do Friday? Yeah, here it is. So it has a nice little pop. So down, gapping up again, 27.1. So you can see it has a decent pre-market action. This is a low flow. I think this is very low flow. If I'm not mistaken, we're talking about under a million, if I'm right. Looks like Trade Ideas is not being friendly today.
Yeah, mine just shut down.
All right, so it's not just me. All right, we'll come back to it. But I know it's a very low flow, guys. Very dangerous stock to trade. Actually,
Gas has it at 2.4 million. So
2.4. Yeah, I knew it was somewhere within that nasty range. Let's see how it traded yesterday, though. Well, not yesterday, but the last trading day, which was Friday. All right, so you did get a nice little pop. This traded well at the open. If you was able to catch a momentum play here, it has some good volume. So that's a nice pop for a low float. So if that's your style and niche, this is one that definitely is in play today. Look at the volume, 3.8 million shares traded so far, up 26%. So we have some levels in here as well. We have the high from last trading day. We also have a 309 we didn't hit last week, so we'll get into that one. All right, next on here we have a Nasdaq ETF. We'll skip that one. BIOC. This is a penny stock. We'll bypass this one. QQQ, another Nasdaq ETF. We'll skip that one. Eric, what do we have on Eric? Eric is nasty. Look at this daily chart, guys. This is a really nasty daily chart. Amazing volume, 811,000 shares traded. But look at where's the volume, right? Where's that being traded? Again, just right now, you look at this pre-market action and it's just horrible. You don't want no part of this. So this is an example of one stock that can pop up into your scanners. look great, but once you get into the details, you know, it's just not tradable. AMD is we have on our list already. Really like the price action now, kind of building some kind of base here and popping higher. So this is great. Like the way that looks. TVIX volatility index, yep, definitely up since the SPY. Let me get the SPY in my other chart. Yeah, SPY is dropping a bit, down a little bit, over 0.5%. Then Nasdaq ETF. Then we have Apple. We have down there as well. PDD again just continues to be nasty. We looked at this earlier. Nothing exciting there. So now over to Nasdaq gainers. BIOC we looked at. That's a penny stock, so we'll bypass that. OEXSX. Horrible. No good pre-market action. Definitely no volume. Yes, it's nice, up 25.5, but again, it's just no volume and no activity in here. Next we have OTLK. We looked at RGLS, same penny stock, no price action, nothing good here. AMTX, also no activity, not a good pre-market action. NDRA, same, no volume. Right, we look at the volume here for only 44,000 shares, not great. MGI, very horrible. MGI, no volume and no activity. AMRS, nothing happening here, horrible pre-market action. TMUS, active, very active this morning. Look at this price action here. What's the ATR on TUMS normally? All right, $1.50, very large flow, 845 million shares flow. So but today the ATR, don't be fooled, the ATR is a lot higher than that. We're going from 81 down to 79, so that's a $3 move in a matter of a $2 move in a matter of a seconds or minutes here. So we want to be very careful with it today. Next, what do we have here? MNKD, nothing happening, no activity, no volume. All right, guys, let's make some space. Let's see what you guys have on your end. What are you watching that looks interesting?
Take a look at Sprint, which is S. It's the other half of that TMUS merger.
Yes.
And it's going crazy. The ATR is pretty weak on it usually, but it's up $1.50 at this moment.
Wow, yeah, this is definitely in play. Again, both are heading up. Here, again, just difference of an actual buyout and a rumor. So both are popping up nicely here. They might... So the news on this one, if you're just joining us, welcome. The news on this one is Sprint and T-Mobile are expected to announce a deal on conditions for merger, will not formally approve merger Monday. So it's just talking about the actual deal, not really going to approve anything today. Nothing's happening today, but this is actually causing some good movement in the markets today for us on these two stocks. So yeah, S is definitely in play. We'll watch that. Looks very good right now, very strong, up 25.4, 4 million shares traded so far. And the reason why this didn't come up in our ATR is only 24 cents. So usually, as you can see, they don't move much, you know, very low ATR. This is why it's not coming up in our gappers list. But today they're clearly in play, up $1.50, 60 at some points. All right, what else, guys? Norm, anything else you like besides what we looked at already?
I mean, the ones that I usually trade, Apple and Nvidia, are definitely, it looks like, going to be in play today. Nvidia is about as smooth pre-market as it ever is.
Yeah, down
2.5%. Apple, same boat, like you already discussed. If it breaks this 180, what do they call it, 182.85-ish,
yeah,
who knows where that goes. So I'll have my eye on those for sure.
Yeah, this is the Apple's daily chart looks really good. Looks like we might crack it now. Actually, it's heading down with some momentum, some volume. So again, this is gonna be nice here. See what it does there. MU, I think, was in the same situation also. Well, actually, MU left their level already. So let's see what that does there. All right, let's see what you guys got. So let's go over to our chat here, and then we have S. Yeah, Mayron. We have S. S is definitely very, very nice. It's gonna be great. XLNX. Check that one out. This one here doesn't have the volume, only 53,000 shares traded. Pre-market action too is not too great on here. You can see it's very choppy, right? And almost with no volume. So this is one you want to avoid. On a day like today, we have so many, you know, you want to check your basically a checklist of, you know, volume that is gapping up, good pre-market action, and good daily chart. So when you have ones that don't have at least two of those, especially the good pre-market action and the volume, right there, you just want to nix that on a day like today when you have so many moving so well with so good volume. S 4.8, 320. Well, STM is garbage. Let's get this out of here. That was just me showing you guys an example of a horrible daily chart. You got Tesla, MU, all of these. Look at this volume here. All of them almost over 200,000 on average. Twitter, TWTR. Same here, no volume at the moment, only 32,000 shares traded, and not a really good pre-market action. So we'll bypass that one. What else we have? QCOM. Yeah, QCOM is choppy today at the moment. But again, we'll see what it does there. Roku. See what Roku is up to. That's a good one to check. Not doing much right now, but Roku has been, again, me and Norm talked about this last week on the morning of Friday, I believe. The daily chart just looks like it wants to pop. It continues to make higher highs, higher lows here. Yeah, you have this dip here, but look how it sells right back up, right? Then holds here again. It's holding a very nice level right in here. Whatever level that is, we can get into it more. It's holding that, right? You had a dip here, but it comes right above it. Seems to open and close above that. And today, yeah, although it's down 1.1, this daily chart looks strong to me. Again, just my opinion. Who knows what's going to happen? Anything could happen. But this looks like it wants to get higher and test this high. This is the all-time high, by the way, up here, guys. Again, so don't be fooled by this time being down 1.1. We saw that on Friday, and then it just popped up nicely. So I think it will definitely be a good one to watch on your side list. I have a lot on here, so not one I'm going to watch off the top of the morning at the open. So XLNX, yeah, we talked about XLNX. I don't like that one. XLNX. Again, just to go back to it again, just not a good volume. Pre-market action looks horrible here, so not one that's really in play today. So STM, Willie, STM, here's the issue with FTM. We'll go to it. Yeah, you do have a nice volume, 325. You do have this gap up, 7.2. But if you look at this pre-market action, this is not great. And also look at this, we talked about it earlier, 85,000 shares, block trade right in here, right? 85,000, not causing any good pre-market action. So that's almost 1/3 of your volume there. And then the key thing here, look at this is a foreign stock. So look at this daily chart, just horrible, trades nasty, not one that you really want to be involved with when you have such a beautiful day like this one. Even when you don't have a beautiful day like this one, you want to stay away from this one. I'd rather watch 2 stocks than 3 and have this one be included on my list, right? You want to trade stuff that's really in play. That's very important. If you talk about that in class 2, one of the things you want to look at is trade stocks that are in play. Very important. All right, guys, anything else that we have not looked at? We looked at T-Mobile, we looked at Sprint, we looked at Roku, QCOM. We have those NUE. Right now, it's no. Well, I don't have no activity on this one at all, and no good pre-market action on NUNE. So we'll bypass that one. KAR, what's happening with KAR? KAR, I don't see any activity here, neither on KAR. SQ, then we'll look at T. SQ will be in play today because a lot of other stocks are moving as well. Market is still dropping. We're getting close to that 1% drop now on the SPY. So I think we're going to hit it. We're going to go over down to 1%. I got the SPY up on a different screen here. So SQ will be in play today, but well, not in play. It will be active. I won't say it will be in play. It will be active because it usually is. It's just it's going to give you a good direction. So put this on your side list for now if you want to watch it. But we have so many other ones here that are clearly moving nicely that I would like to watch. Roofie, Apple keeps tanking. Yeah, Apple is right there. We talked about this one level that it might be wanting to crack. It's definitely tanking, down 3% now with some really good volume, 752,000 shares traded. It's got a nice pre-market action so far this morning, so this looks really good. Let's look at T. T's not even part of this deal that's going on with Sprint and T-Mobile, right? Because what is T? It's T AT&T, right? Yeah, I'm not sure why they're going up. Probably just tagging along with the rest of the cell phone carriers here. Yeah, but they have some good volume, 489,000 shares, up 1.1. Some good pre-market action right now, very active. Yeah, this will be one that will be, looks like will be in play today. It has a nice daily chart, though. It has a nice little pop here. It's been strong over the last couple of days. So I guess this news with T-Mobile and Sprint is making them move here. I'm actually going to check to see if there's anything going on with T separately from what's going on with Sprint and T-Mobile, and I do not see anything going on separate with AT&T. So yeah, so I rather watch like a or TUMS instead of AT&T this morning. All right, folks. All right, we'll do one more Cody, and then we'll go over this list and start eliminating some of these. Yeah, Cody at the moment, guys, no volume. Again, not a great pre-market action, so not one that's in play. All right, guys, we got quite a bit. Let's go through this list. Let's see what looks great, what we can watch on here. So just looking at the gappers list, see if anything else popped up. Verizon, VC's Verizon too, right? So VC's also, tagging along. I don't think they have any news, but again, just all cell phone carriers, rallying together here on the Sprint and T-Mobile news. All right, so let's start from the top. So let's look at QD. QD here, 265,000 shares traded. Just a horrible daily chart though, so I'm gonna bypass this one. One of the few stocks that are green this morning besides the cell phone carriers, but again, just overall price action not looking great, so I'm just gonna get rid of this one. Doesn't have a good daily chart. It doesn't have a good pre-market action. Daily chart is okay actually, but this pre-market action very choppy. AMD I'm going to watch. I think AMD is going to be active with the rest of the Intel, BABA, Apple, NVIDIA, MU. So I like the way AMD trades out of all of them. Also like the price range, right? Within my my favorite price range, 20 to 80 bucks, trading at 26. So I do like that. INTC, let's just go back and find some levels for AMD. So AMD, again, this right here, guys, as we spoke earlier, horrible daily chart, but AMD has been trading very well if you look at the details in the daily chart. So I'm going to mark down 2610. You have several days kind of testing this area here and bouncing back from. Now you also have a nice moving average coming in here. Low of the pre-market sitting at 2670, and 2670 can also see some support in some areas, and also several candles opening and closing around that area. This one here, right, you see this candles opening and closing throughout the day. So 2671, low of the pre-market, that's great. Towards the top, you have a previous day close moving average right in here. The high of the pre-market right now sitting right at the previous day close. I don't think you need to mark anymore in there. Above this, just in case we go for a nice rally, you have this level here, 2811 from this day, right? Clean pop and then right back down. So this is good. Then you have your 2610. And then right below that, very clean level. I don't think we'll get this far, but very clean level here at 2471. Clear pop here, right back down to this level. Find support at this moving averages, and then heads back up. So this is good for AMD. I don't think you need to add any more because you got plenty in here already. INTC, I do like INTC for that is dropping here on the daily, right? So if you look at the daily, you have this consolidation was happening in this area, clearly holding that mark down here. What is this? This is around 44.85 or so, and then now we're dropping it right down 2.8. Pre-market action not looking great, so it might not be one that I keep, but I am going to mark down some levels on here. So wow, look at the price action right now sitting right on this level, so I'm going to mark that down. Looks like it might be the low of the pre-market, 46.60. Yep, so we'll mark that down, 46.60. Very clean support here a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago. Below that, very nice support here also at 42.39. So I'm gonna mark that down as well. Let me see if I find something else recently that's below that. All right, there is not. All right, so we have that. We have the low of the pre-market now. We have 42.39. And again, I will also be cautious of the whole dollar, right? So I'm gonna mark it down. I don't see any good levels towards the bottom, but 43 is a good area of possible support on there. So I'm gonna mark that down as well. Then towards the top, guys, again, you have the previous day close, you have the high of the pre-market, and you have several levels in here. Also moving average coming in this area as well. I don't think you need to add any more towards the top. Pre-market action looking weak, not looking too great. Not much volume right now, so we'll have to make a decision on that one in a second. Uber recent IPO opened up just a couple of days in the market. Low of the pre-market 40.93. So we'll mark that down, and then not many levels since it's just opened up. Towards the bottom, this is probably the other next level you could have is this one here, the opening close of this day, right at 40. Clearly all-time low 46, and that's basically it. You can mark this one down also. You got several days, 2 days on here, 39.10. You got this one here and this one here. So Uber's a recent IPO. I do not have shares for short, and also this pre-market action is not looking great. Volume is also not excellent, so I'm going to get rid of this one. but we do have some levels in case it gets active. It hits our turbo breakup, turbo breakdown. We can join the action. Now BABA down 253. The daily chart looks amazing. I mean, just dropping and losing these levels here. This is great. Again, just seems very weak at the moment. Seems weak. Why does it seem weak, right? What makes this weak is that it started, it came up here to 170 and it's just basically lost this level, right? So basis just looking at that, it just looks weak. And right now it's testing this 164.75 over and over again. It looks like it might want to head lower on here, especially with the SPY being a bit down this morning. So level towards the bottom, low of the pre-market right now, I'm going to mark that down, 164.75. Again, it's been testing that over the last couple of minutes. Let's see if it holds. And look at this 164.75. Right in this area, you have some possible support around that price range as well, especially in this area here, right? So we want to have that on our support and resistance. And then we have another one right at 161. Some clear pop to it, not as tight, but very close to it. And then here clearly having some resistance at around 161. And then look at this stage just right on the money. So that's good for BABA. I'm not going to watch it personally, just a little higher price for me when I have other stuff that are nicely within my range. So I'm going to remove this one. Apple again, Apple is interesting. Daily chart is great. We're back right at this level. What is this? 183.30 is the low of the pre-market right now. So let's mark that down. And then if we lose that, again, we have, obviously we're not going to get to 169. I highly doubt that. Another level right on here based on this pop on this daily
Yeah, that
chart.
177 is definitely a possibility if it can break that 183-ish,
yeah,
182.50.
Right. So I don't, 169 not great, but 177 very clean level here. I think that's like you said, no, that's a possibility. I like the way Apple looks right now, very active, 792,000 shares traded, down 2.8. Again, might be moving with the market, but this daily chart is nice, very clean here. So that one is good. Let's look at Nvidia. Nvidia also not as clean as Apple on the pre-market action, but Nvidia tends to do that and still puts in a very good day. Towards the bottom, you have 145. Then I'm going to mark down the low of the pre-market now because we tested that twice in a nice, what it seems like a double bottom here. Here, come back up, test it one more time, heads right back up. So 150, 174 low of the pre-market. And then you have another clean level here at 145.09. In here, you have another one too, which I like. I'm going to mark down this one, 147.98. You have this day coming in here right around this moving average. And then if you look at that level, you can see all in here. You have this day, testing it here. And then this one in this area as well. So I'm going to mark that one as well to have on there. Then towards the top, you have plenty. You don't need to add any more. You have previous day close, previous day high and lows. That is all good. Don't need to add any more on there. So for me, I'd rather watch Apple today. I think Apple is better. So I'm going to remove Nvidia from this list. But we have our levels in case anyone calls it out. We can tune into and see what it's doing. Or if it hits our turbo breakup, turbo breakdown. MU today. MU looks pretty choppy. I do like the daily chart. Looks like we tested this 34.54 here and headed back up. And if you go back, I like the fact that we have broken over the last couple of days this support here, right? I like that as well. And then clean level towards the bottom will be an area of, we can target 32.85 if it heads down. Then you have another one right in between here, this 33.85. Why am I marking this area? I'm going to zoom in a little. I want to show you guys why I'm actually looking at this 33.80-ish or so. So you have several days opening and closing and testing this, using it as support and resistance. So you have these 3 days using it as support, these 2 using it as resistance. The best level will be this one down here, 32.85, right? So you have a pop like this. But since I scale out of my trades, I like to have something in between that's a good daily support as well as a possible area of taking a partial. So we've been testing this 34.54 for quite a bit. We can get a bounce here, who knows? But then towards the top, you have 35.12, and you also have previous market, previous close, highs and lows, high of the pre-market as well in there. All right, so Tesla also looking very nice here in the pre-market action. Low of the pre-market sitting at 201.11. Yeah, this is a nice pre-market action on Tesla. You can see it's got some good volume, some good activity. Nice bounce here, heads back up, come test it one more time, bounces again. So that's a good pre-market action. I like the way that looks. Let's look at the daily. Low of the pre-market 201, and this is 52-week low. So again, that's also makes it a even stronger support resistance area. In this case, support. Going really back now to 2016, 2017, you got a support right in this area here, right? You got this day here, this pop here. So I'm looking at the waves, right? I'm looking at the waves and where you're getting some reverse action, right? So if you look at this wave, you see this line, you got here, here, you got here, again, area. And then towards the bottom, you notice down here, you clearly have one here as well. Whoops, a little higher. Actually, here would be better. You clearly have one here. So again, so that's what I'm looking at. These are not going to be exact. We're going really far back. So again, it's kind of an area, but you can clearly see how these two can impact this stock today. I don't think we dropped that down, but at least we have something in our list just in case, so we know anything is possible. QCOM, I'm not gonna watch QCOM, guys. Again, just QCOM tends to be very, very choppy, but we do have our level set up. We have this low of the pre-market at 77. I'm gonna move this up a little bit here. 77 low of the pre-market right now, which is very close to what this area is. If we can lose this, we can really run and close this gap. And we have not been. QCOM hasn't been up here in some time too, right? So not gonna go back and find something lower. But you can see it's been a while last year here. So yeah, I'm not gonna find anything lower than 70. I think that's great. If you want something in between 77 and 70, you can kind of go in here as the last time it was up in this range, and you clearly have one here at 73.69. So you have support, 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 and then drops down, resistance on the way up. So that's for QCOM. But again, not going to watch it because it tends to be very choppy. So I'm just going to get rid of that one. Here's S. Let's look at S. Very active today on the talks about T-Mobile, possible merger. Again, just a rumor. Well, not a rumor. They're going to talk about their deal today. Not really happening. So it's not a buyout just yet or merger. So high of the pre-market 784. Let's look at the daily. What do we have? This stock doesn't move much. Only moves 24 cents. So it's been very slow. We got a level here at 654. Do we have anything in between or above? What do we have on S? Whatever we have within this price range has been a while. Yeah, so we have some stuff here from 2017. We can mark this level up here, 856, and this also up here at 893. Then I'm going to mark down 7 as a possible area. I'm going to mark down this area here, because you have several days consolidating around that price range, and also you have this nice little pop on this day here, that nice little drop on this day here at 706. So I think that's enough for S. Pretty active this morning. Next we have T. Let's get rid of this levels. Again, T is AT&T. It's not part of the talks today. I don't know if AT&T is side companies or any of the ones that are active today, but they're moving based on just everybody else moving. So I'm going to mark 2 levels for it. High of the pre-market 32.33, and then we have 32.52 above there as well. So we have some levels, and towards the bottom, pretty packed in here with some support, resistance, highs and lows, and previous day close. Now with T, I'm not going to watch it because I think S and VC are really the ones that are I'm sorry, not S. T-Mobile. I forgot to put T-Mobile on here. Let's make some space. TUMS. Yeah, I'm gonna watch this one opposed to T. I think this one's the one that's actually part of the news. Although this daily chart, this pre-market action doesn't look great on TUMS right now. Verizon's also part of the action. So let's just find some levels. I'm gonna pick out of these 4. These are all the carriers, right? These are all the carriers on here. Really. In this deal that I looked up in Benzinga, is T-Mobile and S are really the ones that are part of this, what this talk about a deal. So I'm going to watch 04 now. As it gets closer to the open, let me see which 2 look better, and then that's what I'll keep. So Verizon, we have high of the pre-market, 59.71, and then we have another level here all the way at 61.20. Daily chart looks great. Towards the bottom, you have some levels here as well, high and lows. So don't need to add any more in there. But pre-market action, not great, and the volume is just not great. So I'm going to keep it on there, but most likely I'm going to end up dropping this one. T-Mobile, also high of the pre-market, 80.96. What do we have in regards to anything above here? Just going back at the moment. All-time high. Oh, that's interesting. All right. This is all-time high on T-Mobile, so this is very, very interesting. Some really good news happening for T-Mobile here. So all-time high is this 80.96 of the pre-market, and then towards the bottom, you really only have these levels here. So I'm definitely gonna watch this one. This makes things a little more interesting when they're hitting that all-time high level like that. Usually the stock tends to want to go back and test that again, like we've seen on Roku several times. All right, and then OTLK, this one here again has been very active over the last couple of days. Had two really good days here. Up again 30%. This is a low flow stock, guys. I think what we mentioned, Norm, 2 million, I think you said.
Yeah, something in that range.
All right, no, nine. You did, yeah, you did mention 9. So 9 million shares here. We'll bring this 309 down to the high of the pre-market. Higher the pre-market, $3. Above this, you have a moving average coming in here. I'm going to mark that down at 325. And then above that, you have this day here at 467. So that's what I'm going to mark down. Be very careful with this stock, guys. I don't like the way this looks here. This looks nasty for me. This is a nasty daily chart. Yeah, the last several days has been great. You're probably seeing a lot of Twitter, Instagram, and all this other stuff. People, making some great moves on here, but just stick to your niche, right? If low flows is not your niche, just stay away from it. 1, 2, we have way too many. I know I gotta get rid of some. So I'm just going, Tesla. Only Tesla because it's a higher price stock. Not that it's nothing wrong with that, but just want to stick to my niche. Verizon I'm gonna get rid of just because the pre-market action is horrible, and we have 2 other ones that are trading excellent, like S. S has a better pre-market action, way more volume, 12 million shares traded already. That's a pretty high there. T looks great. T actually has probably one of the best pre-market actions right now. Less volume, but beautiful pre-market action. And then TUMS I'm going to watch because they're actually part of this deal that's happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1 too many. I usually like to watch only 6, but I think when Andrew comes on, Brian comes on, we can actually fine-tune this a little better. Norm, do we have any announcements for this week?
Yeah, we're leaving for Austin here in a couple of hours. So come see us tonight at North Italian, the Domain, 6 o'clock. Andrew's going to be speaking at the Modern Traders Summit in Montreal, June 22nd, and the meetup. It might have gotten changed. I thought. Let me see here. So June 21st, the night before, is going to be the meetup. Check our Facebook page for that. We've got some other parts of the team go into that as well, so I'm not quite sure who yet. I heard rumors that A-Dog might be in town to train some dogs and some traders and all kinds of things. So, those 2 things. Also, of course, if you're watching our pre-market show on YouTube and you haven't been in the room and you want to try it out, you can use the promo code PREMARKET24 for the 2-week trial that we have to get that at half price and give that a shot. What else? Yeah, so William will be there. Peter will be there. I don't know if other parts will be going, but we'll see. Brian's swing trade afternoon session is going to be this afternoon, 2:30 to 3:30 Eastern. Oh, what else? I mean, we've got a lot.
We definitely.
If you're with IB and if you're part of the room and you use IB with DAS, you can email them, or if you're going to set up an account, there's a link that ABL's put up to get $50 extra data package at no cost for our members. That's all I can come up with at this moment.
Yeah, excellent. Just thinking about it, maybe it would be nice to put an event thing on our website. We should think about that. But definitely go to our website for more information. I know this stuff is definitely on the forum. Go to the forum. You can find all this information on there. And also Abiel, working behind the scenes. He just posted everything on both chats. So, yeah, guys, a lot going on. Trade safe today. Just anything else that we miss? I don't believe so. But yeah, trade safe to guys. Trade safe today is a Monday. Let's start off the week right. Let's start strong. Let's focus on good process and we'll see you guys later in the week or tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.